Rift essences are very useful in order to make your legendary obsidian armor that looks pretty cool. But after you're done with that, what do you do with your essences? What do you do with all those essences that you get from convergences, from rifts, from random events? What do you do? Well, in this video, we're going to go through all of the things that you can actually do with them for gold and from different skins. Subscribe to the channel from because of this. Go to my coffee if you want to support me. Let's get into it. So, you know rifts, guys. You know essences. You know those little guys. The essence of despair, essences of greed, and essences of triumph. They can be transformed into different currencies. The amalgamated cryptis essences to make your legendary obsidian armor. But after you're done, you end up having a lot of them to spare. And you probably, well, me at least, because something like convergences are very profitable, you're gonna keep doing them, right? This means that you know, all those essences are just gonna end up getting into your bank and wasting your space. So how do you get rid of them? Of course, there's the best way of getting rid of them is actually using motivations that you can craft here for a bit of gold. These are the items that you use to open rifts inside of the maps. You know, for people that actually are going for the legendary obsidian armor. You can see here the uncommon, no, my bad. The common cryptis motivation doesn't require any essences, it just requires materials. The uncommon one requires essence of despair and the common cryptis motivation. And of course, rare cryptis motivation requires the essence of greed, right? Now, these items are actually worth doing. They'll give you a good amount of gold. You can see here, for example, the essences, using the essence of despair to create uncommon cryptis motivation will give you 1 silver and 30 copper per profit per essence. And of course the what are the other ones? Oh, it's okay. The essence of greed will give you you know, using those will give you rare cryptis motivation and give you 68 copper after that. So, but of course, because you use the essence of despair beforehand, it essentially gets both profits together, right? Now, from the essence of triumph, you actually can't do anything, as there is no motivation that you can actually craft in order to you know, in order to use these ones and sell them, right? Both these two, essence of despair and essence of greed, are actually the best profit per essence. The motivations are the best profit per essence in the game right now. That being said, there is something very important to say about this. It's kind of annoying to do, because in order to do this, you're gonna have to, you know, build your common cryptis motivation that requires a good amount of research nodes, which are very annoying to use. It'll require time, and it'll also require other materials as well. So even though I would agree that, you know, it is the best gold per hour, or per profit per essence, I'm not really sure if it's worth. I did it, and it took a good amount of time, and you know, you still have to sell it in trading posts and wait for that to happen. So personally, I'm not really sure if I'm a big fan of it. Also, you can end up interacting with the trading posts, which will make, you know, in some ways the profit a bit less. But if you do it this way, which I think is indeed a bit less gold, but less annoying and way more useful in my opinion, you can go to the Guard Lead Claw here in exchanges in the Wizard's Tower that you do require a mastery for. The Wayfinder Mastery here. And once you get that, you can actually talk to this guy. And if you go to the Hornomaguma Bulk exchanges, no, my bad, Essence exchanges, there you go, you can see that you can get different items for these essences. You can see this in Fast as well, and how much gold you actually make out of it. For the Essences of Greed, the tier 2 essences, you can actually get 49 copper per essence, profit per essence, with the tier defensials that we're going to talk about later. But and the rare cryptis motivation is only 68 copper, so the difference is not that big for the amount of effort. Now, if you go for the Essence of Despair, you're going to see that the difference is actually pretty big, between 49 copper per essence and 1 silver and 30 copper per essence instead. The difference is pretty huge here, but then again, it's still, in my opinion, way more useful, because Tyrion's defensials will essentially get you materials that you're gonna use for crafting legendaries or other items. So in my opinion, personally, I'm just gonna use them for this. And of course, the Essence of Triumph that you can use to get a Season 4 currency box, which is good amount of gold and trophy shipment. Now, the reason why the Season 4 currency box is actually more expensive, the only reason is because you can actually pick up the specific currencies from the Living War Season 4, and you can use Branded Mass to craft certain weapons. That's the only reason why it's actually more expensive. But it would be the same if you transform it into volatile magic in order to get trophy shipments from Istan or Eye of the North, right? That being said, it is very useful to use a Season 4 currency box if you're going for something like Vision, because these little things, these little items, these little currencies will be very good to have in for that achievement, and you're gonna have to farm them normally. So using this to actually farm them instead is a good change of pace if you don't like doing that Living War Season 4 content, and instead you would rather actually do rifts, for example. Yeah. So that being said, there's, now that is the best gold power you can get, but there's all other things you can actually get from these essences as well. You can get, for example, geodes that are very useful, because farming in something like Dry Top in order to get geodes to get your legendary weapon, Generation 1 legendary weapons, is very annoying. So honestly, maybe it's better to just do rifts to get those geodes and do your weekly rifts than doing Dry Top, which is actually pretty cool. You could go for the reds, for example, if you wanted really a lot of Imperial favors, but I actually wouldn't go for it. I don't think the conversion is very good. You could go in the same way for some, Soto currencies if you're still working on other things, but I don't think it's really worth it either. But yeah, I think that's only the only things that are really worth getting at there. And of course, for the Essence of Triumph, you 100% would go for Trophy Shipment, unless Mood Shipment Cloth or any of these ones end up being more expensive, which I doubt. Or Season 4 currency box, whichever, right? And for last thing that you can actually get as well is you can transform your essences into Amalgamated Cryptis essences and use it to get these specific weapons and minis. You can go for the Skyscale weapon boxes, or the Ascended version of it, or only the skin for a little bit, for a little bit, for the same thing amount of Cryptis essences, but not the gold. And these weapons look pretty cool, honestly. I really like them. They're very hard to. Also, forget my horrible transmog. It's really randomized. But yeah, you can see that these weapons are actually pretty cool, the Skyscale weapons, and you can only get them by doing convergences, and they have a very low drop rate. So honestly, if you really want to collect all of them, this is probably the best way of doing it. Doing convergences and then transforming those essences into the Amalgamated Cryptis essences. You can also get your mini Peitha, mini Sakiros Wyvern, and mini Eparch once you unlock the actual achievement from these essences as well. And I'm pretty sure you probably will get the Endless Mystic Cryptis Tonic as well if you want to become this little Cryptis guy. But yeah, I guess that's about it, really. That is all the things you can actually do with it. But I really was tired of not being able to do anything with my essences and having to craft my motivations over and over again. It was very annoying. So honestly, from now on, I'm just trying them in here as soon as I see that they're filling up my inventory, and that way I will get some dopamine from playing the game and getting these essences into something else, some gold, and also I will not be stressed. So I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't really think about it until today, so that's why I'm making this video, so you can be reminded that you shouldn't do it either. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Tell me if this worked for you. Tell me if there's anything that I missed, and I'll pin it. I'll give it a like so people can know. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Go to my Twitch live to watch me live. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me. See you guys around. Love you all. Subscribe. Bye.